Alton Towers has some of the best roller coasters and rides of any theme park in the UK. But which ride is actually the best? And, well, which ride is also the worst? Today I'm going to be ranking pretty much every single roller coaster and ride at Alton Towers on this lovely tier list right here to determine which is a masterpiece and which should be demolished immediately. I'm sure it'll definitely not be Rita, guys. But anyway, less yapping, let's get straight into this. And I'm going to actually start with Wickerman right here because I feel like that's the main coaster that people know. You know, it's at the very front of the park. And I got to say, Wickerman is pretty incredible. It's one of my favorite wooden coasters that I've just ever rode. It has a great storyline. The pre-show is amazing, and the coaster is also pretty fun. I'd say it's actually a family coaster that is non-inverting. It really does pack a punch, and I really love it. It's just a shame that it's always on such a high queue time, and also the whole deal with them packing people into the pre-show room is a little bit stupid and kind of ruins the experience a little bit. But honestly, I'd still say that it's an absolute must ride, and yeah, it is really, really good. Not quite a masterpiece, though. Not quite a masterpiece. Okay, moving on from there, we've got Spinball Whizzer. In my opinion, one of the most fun rides at Alton Towers. It's definitely not great, you know, it's nothing special. It's literally just a Manor spinner. It basically has no theming after it lost the IP, you know, it's a bit of an oddball coaster that's just kind of there. But I still really love Spinball Whizzer, but then again, that's just my opinion. And I think if I put this in must ride, people would have a panic attack, so I'm gonna put it in just it exists. Because I mean, yeah, it exists, it's there. But one coaster that doesn't just exist and is, well, pretty good, I'd say. And also very, very well known is, of course, Smiler. One of the most popular coasters at Alton Towers. One of the most well-known coasters in the entire of Europe, I'd say. If you were to ask just a random American person, they'd probably say the Smiler as the coaster that they know from Europe. Of course, holds the record for the most loops on any coaster. It is absolutely bizarre. It's insane. It's really, really good and also terrible at the same time. There's some parts that are just neck-breaking. They're horrible. The theme's a little bit weird as well, but still, I can't find myself hating this. I don't know. It's just something about the Smiler. It's kind of beautiful in its own right. And you know what? For that reason, it is a must ride. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. It's definitely not a masterpiece. Everything isn't quite perfect with it, but, well, you know, it's Smiler. You do have to ride it at some point, especially if you're a theme park enthusiast. And while we're down in X sector, well, we might as well also do Oblivion. Now, Oblivion is, yeah. It's just, you know, a bit of a product of its time. It's a little bit out of date now. It's, compared to other, you know, similar coasters, it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, it is. It just kind of is there. It does just exist. I've got to say the storyline is kind of fun. I do like the storyline, but obviously it doesn't really make sense today. But at the time of its opening, I'm sure Oblivion's story of you just going, you know, into Oblivion, into this deep, dark hole must have been really enticing for people that have just never seen a coaster like this. But yeah, also, I've got to dock points for the queue line because it's just so long and they don't use the cut-throughs and I hate it. But anyway, enough hating on Oblivion. What have we got next? Well, I reckon we might as well clear it out right here. We've got Octonauts, you know, the most beautiful kids coaster on planet Earth. You know what? Actually, no, it's not quite flying fish, but it is. It's there. And well, guys, I think we all know where this is gonna go. Of course, into the masterpiece tier. Where else would it go? Are you stupid? Of course, it's in there. Okay, no, but okay, let's be honest. It's there. Yeah, it's there. I mean, it's not offensive, but it's just Octonauts in it. I mean, the whole fact that people clown on it and, you know, make jokes about how it's the best coaster in the world, I think that says enough, right? Okay, but now let's move on to something a little bit more for the grown-ups right here. And well, that's of course Rita, one of the most pitiful, terrible excuses for a coaster I've ever ridden in my entire life. I'm really sorry if you enjoy Rita. I know there's some people out there, but I find it incredibly difficult to understand how they can enjoy it. The only reason that I can see you enjoying Rita is because you genuinely don't know that there's better out there. I mean, it is such a mediocre waste of time and money and just space in general. It's not even made for the park. You know, the turns are horrible. The launch is weak. It just kind of sucks. And that's, of course, why it falls all the way off the tier list and goes into the masterpiece, because it is such a waste of time, space, and money that, honestly, only Alton Towers could bring up something so beautiful. What a beautiful contraption. Mwah. Okay, let's be a little bit more positive, though, now, because next up, I want to talk about Curse of Alton Manor, or The Curse at Alton Manor. And, well, I don't think I really need to say much about this. If you've been on this ride, it is absolutely beautiful. I know some people just don't enjoy dark rides. That's completely fair enough, but I think we can all agree that it is really good. It's certainly got quite a lot of Merlin to it, you know, where there's things that are just a little bit whack in places. Of course, the flaming skull projection, we gotta talk about that. That's just, yeah, beautiful. What a great addition. Thanks, John Byrne. But yeah, other than those small things, it is such an incredible ride. It's so long as well. There's some great stuff in there, you know, when the trommel actually works. That is so cool, that effect. So yeah, you know what? It's going into masterpiece, and not like Rita's masterpiece. It's actually just a masterpiece. And well, seeing as we've already done Rita, I guess we should also talk about 13 just to get the dark forest all done. Oh well, you know, the freaky forest. Don't go down to those woods, man. It's It's a bit freaky down there. Okay, I'll stop yapping. Let's talk about 13. So I absolutely love 13's effect, and I think the ride is genuinely really well made. It is one of the least re-rideable rides I think I've ever done in my life because, you know, it's very gimmicky, it's very short, it only really has one thing. But you know what? I still kind of love it. The station's really cool. There's some cool parts to it. You know, the drop track is absolutely incredible. But, I mean, yeah, it just exists. It's not that terrible. It's just there, yeah. Okay, and now let's talk about Battle Galleons. Ugh. Okay, Battle Galleons actually is weirdly well themed. You know, it's actually pretty good. And still, I hate it because I've only ever been on it once and I came off genuinely dripping. And well, let's say if the dryers were like £2 or something like that, you know, something reasonable like they are outside of Valhalla, then fine, fair enough. But you know what, Alton Towers, just for the fact that you charge something like £8 to use those dryers, you're going into the demolish now. This ride can go away. You're absolutely scamming a living with those dryers. Piss off. And you know what? While we're talking about water rides, let's address Congo River Rapids. You know what? It's actually a pretty good ride. I love that they've now got the waterfalls on. The theming in some places is alright. And you know, extra points for the plays remain seated. If it wasn't for that guy telling me to, you know, remain seated constantly, I don't know what I'd do, guys. I might just stand up and jump into the lake. But you know what? It is just kind of there, but in a bad way as well. A lot of the times I've been on it, you don't even really get that wet. It's not really that fun of a ride, I'd say. Yes, it's cool that they've got the waterfalls. Yes, it's great to see that they're actually putting in some investment into that area. Well, I say some investment. They turned on some waterfalls and added like a truck outside of it. But you know what? For Merlin, that's quite a lot. But yeah, honestly, I feel like it could really leave and I wouldn't give a shit, to be honest. Runaway Mine Train, however, you know what? This is actually a pretty fun ride. You've got to love a 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀 every so often, you know? There's nothing wrong with a bit of a saucy 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀. Don't clip that. No, please don't clip. No. But yeah, Runaway Mine Train, it's alright. It just kind of exists. It's a fun ride. You know, it's better than something like Octonauts for children. And you know what? It's a Wardley classic, so can't put it any lower, can I? And now we actually only have 5 rides left right here. And well, before we go on to Forbidden Valley and Hex Ride here, I just want to talk about Gangsta Granny first. Now, honestly, I genuinely don't think that 90% of you even know this ride exists. I sometimes forget that it even is in the park. I think Alton Towers have forgot that it's in the park. It is in such a small footprint, and you can definitely tell there's some really cheap effects in there. It's definitely fun for younger children. I'm nearly 20 years old, so Gangsta Granny, demolish it now. Bring back Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and put it exactly where World of David Walliams is now, Alton Towers. Okay, onto Galactica. Oh, I hate Galactica. You know what? I'm just going to put it in demolish now. I hate this ride so much. I think Alton Towers hates it as well because they've got to operate it, and this ride just sucks. It's impossible to operate, you know. It just never works. It breaks down every 5 seconds. I think it has genuinely broken down 4 out of 5 of the last times I've been on it. Sometimes while actually on the ride, and yeah, it's really, even when it works, nothing special. I mean, yeah, it's the first flying coaster, you know, kind of. It's just a bit of a nothing burger, honestly, guys. And you can leave your comments insulting me and telling me that my opinions are shit, but didn't ask, did I? I put Rita in 𝗙𝗶𝗆𝗄𝗃. Clearly, you know, I am a very knowledgeable man. Anyway, it is finally time to talk about Nemesis Reborn, which I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting a long time for. Now, I don't think it's controversial to say that Nemesis Reborn is one of the best coasters in the UK. The theming is incredible. The coaster is incredible. Just, it's the whole package, really. Whereas you've got 𝗙𝗵𝗆𝗄𝗆, where it's an incredible coaster, but the theming's a bit so-and-so. I feel like Nemesis Reborn just delivers on everything. I still do prefer 𝗙𝗵𝗆𝗄𝗆 overall, but I feel like Nemesis is definitely the best attraction at Alton Towers currently. I'm sure some of you will disagree with that, but honestly, yeah, absolute masterpiece. Put it up there. Not better than Rita, though, of course, because Rita is just so terrible. It just, you know, it's better than everything, really, guys. And well, staying on the theme of Nemesis right here, we've, of course, got Nemesis Sub-Terra 2, which I'm actually going to put straight into must ride because Nemesis Sub-Terra is such a unique ride. I feel like it is executed so well, and honestly, I really, really love it. It's really good, especially when you have some scare actors in there. You know, the elevators are all working, and everything just works well. It is such a great ride. Although, actually, I am going to put it under Smiler, but it's still a must ride right here. It is incredible. And that leaves us just one more ride right here, which, of course, is Hex. And well, of course, that's going to go into the masterpiece tier right here. But if you do want to see a full review on 𝗙𝗵𝗆𝗄𝗆, check this video out. That's popping up on screen. I literally go through the entire ride, my opinion on it, my review, all that sort of stuff. So go check that out if you want more information on Hex. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. This is a brand new channel, so I really would appreciate it. And other than that, well, bye.